Episode 18, Productivity Secrets. So, in this episode, I'm going to share with you the top reasons why you're not able to manage your time well. So, firstly, I think it's a good place to start where you might think that you are managing your time well. And I just want to say that it's important to always be open to figuring out what ways you can use to improve that because it's a journey, isn't it? Trying to effectively manage your time, and things are constantly changing around you, around in your maybe your circumstances, your business, everything. So it's almost like you want to constantly be realigning how you're working. So I think even for people who think they are most productive, including myself, I don't think myself as being the most productive person ever, but um, what I do see is people who are just nailing it in terms of what they're getting done. It very much stems from constantly improving it. So it's not like you figure this out once and then that's it forever. So I want to share with you the kind of the background, I guess, behind why we sort of seek productivity to start with. And sometimes we don't necessarily realize what the benefits are. And I think it's really important to start with this and share this with you first, because we need to have that kind of grounded understanding of what it's going to do for us. And that will really, really help us to be even more motivated to actually nail our day, to really precisely and intentionally create focus. So, what I see is when productivity increases, so thinking about, actually completing things, actually getting something done, feeling like you have that sense of achievement and fulfillment and perhaps even satisfaction because, it might be something you've been working on for some time. What this can really do, and the reason why you want to be chasing this productivity, is because it can really um, massively affect your mindset. And I think we don't often talk about mindset, and I don't often talk about it in this way, but I think I've been understanding that a lot of what I do is actually affecting your mindset. And I think I haven't really given it that kind of focus, but the more I think about it, when you're able to do those things and when you're able to feel like you've accomplished and tick things off your list that were not only on your list, but they were intentionally put there and they were actually working towards something, then that really improves your mindset because you feel that sense of you can do this. Um, the belief gets stronger. And I think that is so, so important because every time you take a step, you are creating more belief that you can do the next step. And then you create belief to do the next step. And that just kind of carries on. And it's like that ripple effect. Um, Secondly, what it does is it changes your confidence levels. And I think confidence is something that we all talk about, that we don't have enough of, and we want to have more, but we don't really know how to get it. And we feel like we're almost stuck where we are because we don't feel confident enough to do the next thing. But when you again just take back control of everything, you will like see the massive progress you make, the steps that you took that were so difficult at the beginning, and maybe you thought those doing those consistently was your flaw. um and really it's not, because everything is a learning, and treating it like that means that you are going to build your resilience and you're going to create more confidence. And then the third thing that I see happening is the reason that we want to obviously chase productivity is progress. Because having things on your list for the sake of having them isn't going to suddenly change your world. but making progress on the right things, like taking those steps forward, feeling brave and courageous to actually do it, and then seeing that you have done it. So, really, three things here. It's improving the mindset, it's leveling up in your confidence, and then it's actually making progress. And these sound really simple, but they're very difficult to just say, I'm going to improve my confidence today. That just does not happen. And I'm going to share next with you the top reasons why I think it doesn't work for a lot of people. Time is used um, as an excuse for a lot of things, and we're all guilty of it at some point or another for something or another. Um, you're probably thinking now, when's the last time I used it? And I invite you to have a think, when you use that as a reason to not do something. So I want to share with you the sort of top things that I see um, here where you're not able to manage your time well. It's because firstly we have to sort of look inward. We're often looking outward for answers. I challenge you to just look inward. Ask yourself if you've given yourself permission to use your time how you want, because I think this is just key. Often we are in resistance mode. So even though we know something's good for us, we cannot set the intention and we cannot do the thing because in reality we haven't actually given us permission. We haven't actually affirmed the fact that we want this. And as soon as we give ourselves permission, the second thing happens. What we were not doing before was prioritizing. So we were not telling ourselves how important it was, because let's be honest, if we think something is important, we will make time for it. We will make it happen and we will figure that out. Like it's not a race, but we have to intentionally take those steps. And if we take the right steps, we are actually going to prioritize the things that are important to us. If you are super, super busy and stuck in your day, um, there are still key things that you always make time for, because you must make time for. Um, and obviously, that has to do with looking after yourself as well and the basic needs you have. But we we have to realize that we are in control of creating our priorities. So when you give yourself permission to prioritize, this just becomes a game changer, because then you are being open for to have other things come into your world, because you're setting that intention really quite powerfully, and it starts with us. So rather than seeking that outside, it really does have to come from us, and we need to be able to look inward. And that brings me on to the last thing I wanted to cover here, because I think it is important to look externally and see what's affecting us. So it could be the people around us, it could be our family, our friends, the people that we connect with and spend the most time with, really. How are they influencing or affecting our motivation, our kind of inspiration levels? Because the more you feel inspired and to believe and to have the courage to take those steps, that's where you will be able to put things into practice. And if you can nail how you operate in the day and really sort of zone down into the area that you want to be working intentionally, that is going to have a huge impact, because you're going to be driving in a direction that you want to be going in, rather than just going round and round in circles. So I hope that makes sense. I think that's what's coming up for me. And I think being around people will then, imagine like being around like really super supportive, helpful people. if you internally have given yourself permission to prioritize and you're doing all the things, wouldn't that just be a game changer and really level you up even more? Because you might have a partner who's not 100% um, supportive in the way that you would like them to be. And we can't expect them to suddenly change. So, what we can do is bring more positivity around us, like feed off what you need and find that somewhere. So, if this is of interest to you and you feel like it's something that's missing in your life, there are so many mums in business who are feeling like this, whether it's that direct family not understanding what you're going through, whether it's not having the permission from others, including ourselves as well. Um, and really planning the day and how you operate is going to be key to this, because if you have a very small or limited time frame to work in, then you want to be even more productive than everybody else around, because you want to be clear on what you're doing. And when you have the time, you want to be so focused and able to concentrate and get that done in the right way, so that you're showing up as you, as the kind of confident, as the person that you want to be, um, showing up as. So I'm not saying you have to change who you are, but obviously being able to be confident enough to show up the way that you are, to be yourself, so that then people can connect with you for who you are, rather than, any random social media post that they come across, which, let's be honest, in this day and age, it's not going to be very many people at all. So we have to work on ways that are going to work for us. And if this sounds of interest and you feel that you're lacking, please do reach out, send me a message, contact me via my website, or if you're on my email list, just hit reply. And if you're open to a conversation, maybe it's as simple as getting more clear on what your next steps are. Um, Sometimes people looking at your business from the outside and being in a community where you feel inspired, you see other people taking action and you feel like um like that's your tribe. You feel like that's rubbing off on you, and that's only a good thing when you are a solopreneur, because let's face it, business life is lonely enough, in the sense of, you're talking to yourself, asking those questions all the time. But having a place, having people who get you, who understand you, and who want to give you more confidence because they've been there as well. So yeah, that's what I want to share today. And I just feel that it's so important for us to give ourselves permission, and we sometimes seek everything outside. So there's a bit of a mixture there of what you want to seek internally and what you want to seek externally. And I hope that's helpful, and I hope it gives you an idea of things that you can do and what you can take action on today. So I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening.